Hey everybody, it's Dave Rosenfeld, and I am coming back with more VA information for you. Today, I'm still with Andrew and I am still with Joey. We are still with Neighborhood Loans, and we need to talk about appraisals, VA appraisals, because you hear all of this fiction about how a VA appraiser is harder or anything like that. It's literally just that, it's fiction. Guys, VA appraisers are going to make sure that the house is meeting the lender's needs, right? So appraisers don't work for the buyer. Appraisers work for the lender. You pay for it. The benefit is to them. We're making certain that that home is valuable enough to cover the loan. That's it. When it comes to a VA appraiser, they are charged with making sure that there are minimum safety things that are there. You have a roof, you have a toilet, you have an oven. If it's a gas oven, there's no gas leaking into the house, right? No different from any other appraisal, okay? If you're going with a conventional loan, folks, you still have to have a roof, you still have to have a toilet, okay? It is what it is. But what makes a VA loan exponentially better than a conventional loan is this thing called Tidewater. Which one of you wants to touch on Tidewater?
Joey, go right into it.
So I'm going to go after Tidewater.
He's triggered.
Yeah.
It got named after an area in Virginia known for Tidewaters. Anyway, does not matter, but that's a stupid fact that you can Google. So Tidewater is the period after which the appraiser has been to the property and they are having trouble reconciling the contract price, right? They have not given us a value yet, but they are saying that, hey, can you get your agents to get me some more comps to support the value, all right? And then us on our end, we go out, we talk to the agents, they get us their comps, we send them back in over to the appraiser, and then he releases the appraisal. Either we're gonna get value or we're not. It is what it is, all right? I will say 92% of the time, this is 2023 data I'm talking about, 2024 hasn't come out yet, 92% of the time, VA appraisals come back at value or higher, all right? Tidewater, I'll also say if there's no reply from the agents after 72 hours, the appraisal gets released.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. 72 hours. The appraiser has been to the property, the appraiser has looked at the data, and they're saying, you guys have a contract at $500,000. I can't find anything that shows this is more than $485.
They
don't assign value, though.
He's asking you to validate the contract.
And as a listing agent, I've already run all my comps. I know what I believe that home is worth. And so I have other comps in the neighborhood.
You should have.
You should have.
You should have.
That's why you work with Dave.
That's true. There's a lot of people that just throw spaghetti against the wall and see if it sticks.
Yep.
And sometimes it does. Here's why it does sometimes. Because the buyer's agents really don't care. If they'll go under contract at 500 and say the appraisal is going to come in low, and therefore we're going to get that price reduction. Good listing agents, what Blake Shelton, right? Good listing agents have done it, and they want to price that house where they believe that appraisal is going to come in. Now, you can push it a little bit sometimes, but right now we're worried about, do we meet appraisal? And so on Tidewater, it is a federal law that that appraiser has to reach out and say, you got 72 hours to help justify your price. That could be, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I had 9 offers on this property, 7 of them which were over the asking price. That helps justify it. It could be that there are 9 other properties in the neighborhood that are all under contract and they're all at the same price point. Those are all indicators that the value is there. But so tell me more about when we've reacted to that Tidewater. What happens with that?
Okay, so once the lender gets the comps or the data or the information over to the appraiser to support the value, that appraiser now has only 48 hours to release the appraisal, right? They usually do it within a day, but they have 48 hours, all right? If the value still comes in low, right?
This is where it gets good.
This is where it gets sexy.
They give you a chance on the front end and the back end.
This is where it matters who you work with.
If it comes in
Joey.
low and your lender says, oh, well, nothing we can do, time to find a new lender and transfer that appraisal.
Or if it comes in low, but also the seller doesn't want to come down on price.
Yeah.
The buyer can't come out of pocket. Then they give another opportunity.
Okay, so let's stop right there. You just heard a couple of examples of what can happen. So if an appraisal comes in low, regardless of whether it's FHA, VA, conventional, typically one of a few things happens. The seller will come down to the appraised value. The seller will say, I'll meet the buyer in the middle, which means the buyer has to come with some cash, that halfway mark. The buyer says, I can't do anything. The seller says, I can't do anything. And the contract is canceled, right?
Yep.
Or in this situation, what happens?
We would go to the reconsideration process. And this is where it's important, right? So the ROV process has a 72% success rate on appeal with an average increase of value nationally of $26,000.
Well, hold on. To back it up, what Joey means is that we as the lender are getting with our agent, again, to get more supporting information. We are submitting a detailed letter with explanations to the VA now. Now we're saying, okay, appraiser didn't find the value.
It's a $500,000 house. It got appraised at $485,000. We're going back to the reconsideration of value.
We're trying to get the VA to approve that $500,000.
Right.
Because the VA wants to support the veterans, right? They're there to back the veterans. So the lender, and most lenders will not even try this part. And so what Joey means by that 72% of the time, the VA is backing the higher value. Continue.
Yes, that is correct. God, I love it. We also get a letter from the veteran as well.
Yep.
That states the value they're looking for.
Yep.
And why the home is also important to them and how it will help their life. All these different things, right? The data still matters. The letter from the veteran is also going to matter because here's the thing about work. Taking the appraiser out of the equation is important because now someone doesn't have an emotional attachment to what they said, right? Now we're going to an outside party, the VA themselves, and they're not going to change the appraisal. But what they can do, if the numbers make sense, is they will adjust the notice of value, which is what the VA will actually base the loan off of, right? And that is a beautiful thing. They've once turned in, it's a 5 business day turn time where the VA will get you an answer.
Now, you said a minute ago that the average is about $26,000.
Yeah.
What is the cap? What is the most they can do?
So there's no cap. I have had one come up literally $96,000.
$96,000. Now, the things that come into play here is oftentimes I may have a handicapped child that needs to have something, and we couldn't find another property that supported that. So if you need to have aqua therapy and there's no other home in the area that's below $500,000 where you can get a pool and have the lift that child needs, or you have a spouse that is handicapped, or the veteran themselves has been, injured in the line of duty and they're handicapped, and this house has extra wide hallways just by coincidence, or it has handicapped bars or something.
It could go community, it could go work, it could go, what is this house going to do for that veteran?
Yes.
And oftentimes that becomes emotional. It is that we need this house, it's near my parents who are caregivers or whatever the case may be. It doesn't have to do anything with the home itself. It is how that home will impact that veteran.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Remember these words. It's a reconsideration of value. And folks, again, these guys have got licenses across almost every state in the country. They can do a loan almost anywhere. But if you are looking in Hoboken, New Jersey, and they can't support Hoboken,
We support Hoboken.
we will get you connected with somebody who can, or we will educate the person that you're working with. I need you to know this. We're not doing this because we're trying to get every dollar out of you. We're doing this because it is important that you know and understand your eligibility and how you can work it. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have complaints about what we're saying here, please feel free to reach out to me. Drop me an email, call, DM, it doesn't matter. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. Reach out.